Hey everyone, and welcome back to inZoi. Today we are building, or actually creating, two very well-known characters. The one of Emma Watson and Rupert Grint, who obviously are the actors of Hermione and Ron. Why are we doing this? Well, because I'm preparing for showing you guys all the careers, and I'm looking for a little bit of a theme, who to create to make all the careers, and we are starting with those two, and then I will also take a couple of other ones, to join them up. But in this video, we are creating also a high-rise apartment building for them, which I just wanted to see if this is working in the game. Spoilers ahead, I am relatively okay-ish with the Emma Watson, and I'm very happy with the Ron version of it. Doing these, kind of representations of real-life persons, you can really tell where there are some flaws maybe in the character builder, and I do know that the dev is looking at all of these, creations and stuff like that. There is a reason why they specifically made sure that the character studio was available to the public, so that they can find even more things to do. And yeah, there is a couple of things I found very hard about Emma Watson's face. Well, literally, she's one of the most prettiest persons in the world, to my very personal opinion. I do think she is, and there is no one to blame at the studio choosing her as an actor, because literally at like 11-year-old you can't really tell too much, but she definitely stole the show in Harry Potter a little, from where actually Ginny also should have been the most prettiest, like according to the books, which, to be fair, it doesn't really add that much to the story, at the end of the day. But Emma Watson became a wonderful, pretty woman, in my opinion. And that was a very hard thing to capture in here. And also, I was trying to work with the imperfections and also try to go a bit more with asymmetry. But a couple of things were very hard, and I'm still struggling so much with the lips. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Yes, the lips have a lot of control, but I just couldn't get it to work. The lips were very hard. At the end, you can kind of tell that this could be Emma Watson at some point. I could have done a better job at, making the makeup work better. But to be perfectly honest, there could be a better representation of her, even though in a second we're going over to Rupert Grint, and he's definitely a better representation. And I also must admit, I tried to go to how they looked at the end of the last movie, simply because they obviously changed their characters a little bit to also grow out of the Harry Potter style, you know what I mean? And here you can tell I was trying a lot with the hairs now. Emma Watson also had a couple of very interesting hairstyles and nice hairstyles, and a lot of these things are in game, and I went for this one over here. But the more I try to, get the perfect, even better result, I think I just undid a very good version of her. So yeah, I don't know, there are a couple of things I would have loved to improve, but yeah, you can't really change that much about a face once you've saved it, and so that's my bad. Maybe I'm going to do a different approach on her, I don't know, or maybe I'm going to change a couple of things. But now, as you can't upload anything to the Canva anymore, I'm not even sure if that's worth the work. So just to let you know, I still have access to the game now till the end of the week, and I'm still allowed to upload videos even after that. So that's very good news, I think, in my opinion. And I can still figure around and fiddle around a little with the characters and so on. But just props to other people. I've seen so many people doing insane recreations of real-life persons and also characters. I've seen Angelina Jolie, for example, Brad Pitt, that look ace, completely ace, and some others as well. So I love that, and I like the idea of just trying to get there, because you can make beautiful people in this very, very easily. You can do very easily beautiful persons in this game, because the builder is easy and intuitive, and once you don't have a very specific character to create, and you have a bit of freedom in what you do, you obviously can create a lot of things. A fraction of what is, I think, the most important thing where you could have even more control over, and that is just totally because the tool is already so good. I really would love to have a bit more control over how the laughing little areas beside the nose would go, like all the little things next to the nose, how these things are tackled, you know. And then again, the lips are super important for me, and I think also a couple little things around the nose, a bit more control over the nose nozzles and so on, would be lovely, because there is also, I think there is something lost because you only can drag it up and down and side to side, and then like little specifics about the nose. And you know, when it comes to Emma Watson, for example, she has a very, very nice and very symmetric, but also a almost perfect nose, I want to say. In like, I'm not the one to judge noses that are, I got a very big nose, you know, I've got a crazy big nose, but in terms of what is seen as a perfect nose from its form factor and so on, Emma Watson has a very, very perfect one. And I was not able to create this in game because either it's getting too pointy or too roundish, so that was a bit of an issue. And at some point I was like, you know, I'm just gonna go for it. And as you can tell, it's not like super perfect. It looks a little bit like her, but not too much. And you know, I'm here to admit that it's not like I'm sitting here and it's like, hey, I made a perfect looking Emma Watson. And I checked up on the canvas, and a couple of people have done an Emma Watson too. And funny enough, I think they struggled with the same issues I had. So it's good to see that such a perfect and pretty woman is almost impossible to be done in this game. I think Angelina Jolie, for example, worked that well because she also, like, she's very well known for her makeup and so on, and you can really tell that. And she's a very distinct face in a way that, you know, you've got certain character traits to the face, like very pointy sides and so on, that made life a lot easier. But yeah, now you can tell this with Ron, for example. In a second you'll see that I'm very, very, very close to the character in very quick time, or very short time, simply because I don't know, I think it just fitted the overall character creation a little bit nicer, and also with like the roundiness of the face and making all these things look exactly like Ron would, was super simple. And honestly, I was surprised with how well that worked, and even from the side and so on, it just really started to look a lot like Ron, and it almost looked like a little bit of a tiny bit of a anime made Ron. I don't know, you'll see that later in the picture, or maybe on the screenshot or the thumbnail. It's looking a lot more, but here you can really tell this is Ron, you know. This is a lot better than Hermione or Emma Watson, whatever you want to say, has looked. But looking at this screen right now and doing my voiceover, you can definitely tell, you know, you don't need help. And with Emma Watson, I do admit you may actually need some help at some point, but Ron really was a lot better, and turned out, and Rupert Grint turned out a lot more like him. And I swear, if I would have slammed a lot more of like a beard and a bit more imperfect hair on him, he would have actually looked like the real world Rupert Grint right now. A lovely person from what I can tell from interviews and stuff like that, but yeah, I liked his appearance in the Potter movies. I think he's a brilliant cast, and yeah, here you can see that finishing up the face, and honestly, I was super happy with the result. He's obviously a little like younger, you know, compared to what, and I also found an even better hairstyle that fitted his style a little nicer. This is what I meant with like the you know, anime fight version of him. This hair is a bit more in this direction, but I like this just a tiny bit more, so I went for this one. And yeah, here you can see the result before we will move over into creating the apartment in a second, which honestly also turned out super nice. Obviously, we need all of these freckles because Ron is a Weasley at the end of the day, and we need all these freckles, you know, which Rupert Grint doesn't even have that much. But yeah, I also found some interesting outfits here from like a I don't know what it was, but I just then got the idea to give him a little bit more of a reimagined Hogwarts outfit, you know, pimped up a little bit for the real world. But I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna give him the Gryffindor outfit, and then give him like a black, or yeah, I think like enter the trousers, and then gave him like a leather jacket, to make him look a bit more cool. I'm not sure if I went for the leather. No, I think I went for the hoodie at the end of the day. I thought I went for the leather jacket. I should have actually. But yeah, here you go. This is Ron and doing some poses for us, you know, there you go. And yeah, we are in the game, and I just want to quickly talk about this because because you'll see it in game in a couple seconds. I wanted to create a tiny living space, and in order to do so, I needed to create this overall space first of all and see how small I can get. And so I was starting to try a couple pieces to see how small I can get it all to be crammed together. And well, there's one thing I can already tell you: next time I should do this and should not use shift to override anything, because I used a couple tricks to make it all a bit more tiny. Also here, as you can see, there's a trick to get this staircase directly to the wall. You just need to move it there later on, and then it works. As you can see over here, I used this trick by moving the walls forth and back, and then all of a sudden the stair goes in. But hey, obviously in game at a certain height I couldn't traverse the stairs anymore. That was obviously a little bit of an issue. But at the end, I got it to be very, very tiny. You'll see in a couple seconds that I went for a second version. This is version number 1, and I found a couple quirks about this too. Wasn't that easy to stack it, but as you can save entire floors, there you go. This is the final variant of it. As you can save entire floors, it just kind of works. And then you can just stack them on top of each other. And the only thing I needed to do is then fill some furniture in. I wanted to make it look a bit more shabby and cheap, but at the end of the day it turned out to be like a wonderful apartment. I don't know what exactly happened here, but hey, I'm not the one to judge. It's looking very nice. I wish to have made it a bit more janky, but hey, we have to deal with what we have, okay? The only downside obviously is that this is just purely imaginative, because you can't define each single flat as an apartment, which I totally would love to see, but this is going to be a feature in the full version. So as of now, we can build a property for us, but we can't define the room as apartment, which I would love to do, because then you have like this high-rise building with a lot of different apartments in it, and I would be able to have multiple people living in here. That would be so cool. And not even a family. You could join like many families in one home, for example, have like 10 different families, up to 3 people, or maybe 2 living in each of these apartments. So that would be super cool. And like going totally crazy, imagine you could purchase the flat on the other side of your level, and then you just kind of break down or tear down the wall, so the entire flat becomes one, which literally is what our neighbors did in our old home. They lived below us, and then they purchased the other flat right across the floor, and then they teared down the wall and created a huge floor out of it, which looked super beautiful and modern and open and spacious, which I guess is exactly what I would do. And I would love if this game goes in that direction too, to expand your living space, also not by moving, but actually by purchasing more living space in the available area. But anyhow, that's been it. Let's have a look at how it looks in game, and thank you so much for watching. As always, I see you in the next one. If you're interested in all the careers, keep on watching. We'll do this in the next episode with Ron and Hermione and many more. So have fun. Alright, we are quickly in game, and I'm gonna check out if we can have a look into our wonderful apartment. So it's actually not working obviously as an apartment, as I said, but we can now see how it looks when we go inside. So this is the old building, and I did actually save this, so hopefully it all works. So if I go in, so okay, well actually we have to make the full walls. There you go. And now this is how the floor looks when you come in, and then obviously there's a room in here. You go in, it's very tiny, as you can see. It's like not super tiny. It's actually looking pretty cool when you're inside of a room. And then you got this little, well actually you should have a bed in this corner. There's no bed anymore. Okay, well then you have this freaking tiny bathroom. Okay, if we go out of this bathroom, there you go. Let's see if the other room has a bed, or if copying it around actually made the bed go. Let's go into this flat over here. A copy paste obviously of the other side, so go over. Okay, also not a bed. Oh, should clean there. I'm wondering also how that works with cleaning the house, because the rest of the house will obviously completely go abandoned if if we don't clean it every now and then. But look at that. That looks actually pretty cozy. Let's go into a room. Obviously, it's again all a carbon copy, just to keep that. No, bed is also gone. Okay, so the bed seems to be gone. That seems to be like a little mistake. I don't know why exactly. But yeah, let's go all the way to the very top to show you the brand. Very cool view from up top. Oops, can you please? Hello, stop. Hello, I want to control you. Can you please stop? Okay, well, turn around and go up. Hello, why are you not go up here. My god. I'm not sure why that was so confusing. So go around that corner. The control over here is a bit buggy. I think because I crammed that staircase in here, which shouldn't be allowed. But oh my god, I'm just grinding around the corner. Yeah, I do feel like it's because I grinded the stairs. Yeah, you can see it does definitely have a little issue here with these things. Let's see what happens if I pause the game and I go all... Oops. Yeah, come on, zoom out and go all the way up here. There you go. And I'm gonna say click here. Let's see if that works. Let's speed up quickly the process to see if we can go all the way up to the house. Where's my person? Where's the person? Oh, actually, it seems like you can't go there because of how the stairs are built. Okay, whatever. I mean, the idea of the building is all nice and so, and we don't never need all these buildings. Can you just come over here, for example? Does this work then? Or are you just stuck there now? Oh, I think you're stuck there. No, you're not. Okay, I can still walk like this. Maybe, okay, so that one's blocked. I can definitely go down. So there you go. I can still live in that house. That's totally good. Can I also use the toilet for a second? Let's have a look. Also, what about my needs? Okay, my needs are actually pretty okay. Well, I don't want to make this video too long for making these things. I just want to see if I can use the toilet. Oh yeah, that works. Look, that's fine. So it's actually good to see that it works, but it's also, my god, is that all tiny. It's very hard to play over here. I think you definitely should play in that mode then. Oh my god, and then with the staircase in the middle. I think if I do that again, and we still have a free space to build exactly the same building again if we want to. Or we can even build this bigger, however we want. I would definitely do this in a different way and build this a little bigger. I wanted to go for these tiny houses, but I'm just going to quickly capture a little picture of that. Let's actually go to the cinematic mode from... Ooh, where are we? Oh my god. Okay, do I have to go all the way up here to see that? Ooh, can I see the rooms like this? Oh, but then there are like this. Oh my god, so this is so confusing. But okay, so if we are in the rooms... Well, then let's go higher. I want to have the view from the highest room, which this side could be cool. There you go. Look at that. Oh, it actually doesn't even look that shabby. It looks way too good. I didn't mean to make it that nice looking, but it does look fantastic. Look at that view from the window. Like if you're doing the dishes or so. That looks fantastic. I would totally live here. And then also if you have your bed over here, you know, you can just have a look outside the window. That is way better than I expected it would be. But anyhow, I need to go down a bit. I wonder why if I go into this cinematic camera, I still want to be able to see through the roof. Huh. Okay, well, there are still a lot of things to be fixed, you know. Also, if I go out here, and I'm going to say full walls, then it should actually be nice, right? In the cinematic camera. Let's have a look. So if I go down here... Oh, I do even have the ceiling. Okay, so now this is a fantastic view. Okay, let's go all the way up. So do we... Okay, this was way too high. But I want to go in this room. Oh my lord, this looks so freaking cool. So freaking good. Okay, so next up, guys, after this video, we have to ship Ron with Hermione, or actually Rupert with Emma. Because that's our next step, and we will do this in the next video. This will be our house where they want to move in. So we're gonna do this and ship them both into this building. I can't wait for doing this, and I would love to see you over there as well. Until then, have a good time and goodbye.